Hi, this is Sarita Dua of the AskSarita Team at Keller, and today I want to talk to you about the value of your home. You may be wondering what's dragging down the value of your home. Let's say you've had it appraised and the number just comes in a lot less than you thought. Why do you think that's the case, and what are some of the factors that might be at play? Well, the first thing is your house may not compare to the house down the street. So you may think your house is just the same as your neighbors, but then come to find out the neighbors has more upgrades or is bigger or is newer or has a different yard. And because you're neighbors and you may not have spent time inside that house, you may not be quite aware of the specifics of each property that an appraiser may have looked at. Second, there's factors that increase your home's value, like say being on waterfront or having a view or some quality upgrades. There are some things that may hurt you as well that you may not have taken into account because they haven't bothered you. Let's say you back to a busy road, or you're the first house on the entrance to the neighborhood and every car passes by. Those things are going to have a locational perspective where you're going to have the value decrease because it's not as prime a location as, say, other properties. So that's something to just consider. Third, I mentioned upgrades a couple times. You may have actually upgraded too much. So you may have redone your kitchen, updated your bathrooms, and changed out all of the hardware from brass to stainless steel. Many of those upgrades you've done for yourself, and you can easily calculate, wow, I've spent $150,000 upgrading my home over the last 8 years. That doesn't mean you're going to get every dollar of that $150,000 that you put in. Many of those upgrades you did for yourself and for your enjoyment, and while they'll add some value, they certainly won't add every dollar for the dollars you've spent. So that's a factor as well. So what can you do when you have a low appraisal? Talk to your appraiser first. Just question them. Ask them what comps they use. Ask them why they may have not considered others, and ask them if there's anything, if there's a reason that you feel that they've overlooked something. Perhaps they got the square footage wrong, or they missed a key neighborhood that's very like yours and very close by. The other thing you should do is talk to your agent, someone like me, because if you want to sell and you're still disappointed at the number you got when you inquired or when you had it appraised, we can still work together to find the right price for it to sell in today's market. You will then be faced with the decision of, do you actually want to sell it now, or do you want to wait for the market to potentially get better? There are a couple of things you can do, though, if you decided to sell, even if the price wasn't what you thought. The first is fix things up. Make things look great. It should be perfect. You know, paint touch up, repairs, finishing hardwoods. Have everything spick and span, have the furnace service, do everything you can so that that home looks great and is in the best condition it ever can be. The other thing is enlist the help of your neighbors. You might want to ask a neighbor if they might want to maintain their yard. You might want to ask them if they have 7 cars in their driveway to park elsewhere so that it doesn't look as crowded right next to you in your cul-de-sac. While they may be inconvenienced and while it might be a sensitive topic, most neighbors all want you to do very well when you sell because it bodes well for the entire neighborhood and for their own property values. So if you ask them for their help in a sincere way as a favor, you're likely going to get participation and it will help everybody. So these are some factors to think about if the price isn't exactly what you thought. There's some things you can do about it, and it certainly doesn't prohibit you from selling as long as you work with an agent that can come together with you to find the right strategy to get your home sold and sold quickly. For that, give me a shout. I'd love to talk to you more about it. For all your real estate questions, ask Sarita. Thanks so much for watching.